Today I'm going to teach you how to prepare for the new Mists of Avalon update coming hopefully sometime this year. There was a recent developer update that talked more about it and what's going on. I'm going to cover the more solo aspect of the update and not so much the Roads of Avalon part. This includes all of the new animals, the new crafting items, and what you need to do right now so that when this update lands, that you will be absolutely ready for everything that's coming so that you can take advantage of the economy and also the new game mode. Because the Mists are solo oriented and have new mobs that we need to farm to get certain artifact items, you're going to want to have a method to farm these animals, and I'm not even sure if they're going to be considered animals, so you might or might not consider leveling up your skinning so that you can have a tier 8 skinning garb for that animal hide poison. Now, Boltcasters are a great way to solo farm one single enemy very quickly because it deals the most amount of single target channel damage in the game, whereas Spiked Gauntlets lets you clear entire packs of mobs very quickly with high damage. Alright, but you also want a PvP set because who knows how bloodthirsty and volatile the Mists will be. We won't know until it's released, but good PvP weapons include daggers, because you can kill other players very quickly with them, swords, so you can escape or have high mobility, curse staves are a nice all-in, kind of in-between for farming, but also killing other players, bows are surprisingly very strong in 1v1s and also give you high mobility to escape, and then nature staves allow you to just heal yourself forever and never get killed by a solo player. Me, personally, I'm just going to use nature staffs, because I can just self-sustain myself indefinitely against even group dungeon bosses. I can solo group dungeon bosses with nature staff, so that means I can pretty much kill every beast in the Mists of Avalon, and other players will never be able to kill me unless they're running some sort of massive anti-healer build, and healers generally in the open world do not die to a single player. They take a small group to take down, so while nature staffs aren't the most mobile, they are pretty much near impossible to kill in a 1v1 situation. Not entirely, but it is going to be very difficult for someone to even bother. They might see that you're a healer and just be like, nah, I'm not even going to try to kill him. Now, they have announced that they are adding new things to the game. They haven't said what it is, but just in case that it is new equipment, new weapons, new armor, new helmets, new offhands, etc., here is the values that you need to have in order to be ready, alright? So that means that you need at least about 17 million combat fame credits just to have a new weapon go from 1 to 100, okay? If you really want to take it to 100 to 120, then you're going to need another 50 million, almost 51 million combat fame credits and 17 million silver. And then I have the values of the fame credits required for armors, helmets, and offhands. Now, helmets and boots are the same value, so you have to multiply that by 2. So if you want to level both your helmet and your boots, that's about 8.5 million combat fame credits from 1 to 100. Alright, so all in all, it's going to take you from just a full set of new gear from 1 to 100 is 34.2 million combat fame credits, and 100 to 120 is 104.2 million combat fame credits, and 35 million silver, because from going 100 to 120 costs silver. There is no way around it. You have to pay the silver fee. It is a silver sink. It's there in the game for a reason to, help the economy out. So it is quite expensive. If they add new weapons and new armor, it's going to drain the economy quite a bit. Now, in case these new items aren't equipment, but instead are food and potions, you're going to also want to max those out if you're a crafter. And here's the math behind that. You need about 4 million fame to go from 1 to 100 spec in potion or cooking, right? And you have to calculate this. You're going to need to check the fame earned per craft, and then add 50% from that number if you have premium. And if you craft during fame week, the calculations are a little weird. It's not a plus 20% to the base or a 25. It's weird. I don't know how to calculate it without actually being in fame week to test it and run the numbers. I looked at my old footage, and every fame week is different for some reason when I did crafting, so I can't figure it out. I'm sorry. So here's the numbers without fame week. So one craft of a tier 6 healing potion will give you 2,160 specialization fame. You get 5 potions per craft. Now with premium, you will get 3,240 fame per craft, which means you have to craft 1,246 times or you'll be making 6,230 tier 6 healing potions. To go from 1 to 100 spec, alright? Now, what this means, this would cost you 90,000 Foxglove, 22,428 Goose Eggs, and 22,428 Potato Schnapps. Now, if these new artifact items only take one of them to craft a potion or a food item, then you're going to need about 1,246 of them to max out your crafting, and about at least stockpile 20,000 of all the other materials you're going to need. Who knows how much materials you'll need to craft these. They're generally pretty high, at least for Avalonian items, that is. So be prepared for that. Who knows what's coming, but if you want to be absolutely prepared, then this is how you do it. By the way, if you want to try to save money instead of buying all this stuff, you can grow it yourself. With a maximum spec grower, you can expect 31,590 crops per month when you are spending 125 focus to water every single day and spending 10,000 focus per day. This is kind of what it looks like. These are all my stacks of Comfrey that took 1 month to grow on one character. And of course you get a bunch of earthworms as well, so you get a little bonus there. But, so about 2 months of one character having premium will get you enough crops to hopefully go from 1 to 100 in whatever the new potions or food might be. Time for some market speculation. Tomes of Insight will reach 30,000 silver the first 2 to 3 days, and then rapidly drop back down to 19 to 20,000. This is because every time new weapons or gear are introduced to the game, this is what happens. When the War Gloves came out, when the Avalonian weapons came out, this is what happened. The thing is that Tomes of Insight are extremely well stocked by players. These things do not have... They're not rare, essentially. There are people that have hundreds of thousands of these in their banks, just waiting to be sold. If anything, people like to sell them in mass bulk for actually much cheaper. You can actually go onto certain Discords and buy them at like 15,000 per if you decide to buy like 30,000 at a dime or something like that. It's insane. So don't think that Tomes of Insight, buying them all up now, will make you money later. It's going to be a highly competitive market. Don't bother with Tomes of Insight. Siphon Energy will raise in value, whatever, because 1v1s get kind of unfair if you just overcharge. Like, if you see an opponent and you're equally geared, oh, I overcharged, haha, you're dead, lol, give me your loot. And gold will deflate before the Mists of Avalon, because SBI, every time they've ever announced that they are working to deflate the value of gold, they have always succeeded. So, right now they are working to deflate the value of silver, which means gold should go down in value as well, because gold is tied to silver value. And whenever Mists release, it's going to stabilize the first few months. Every time there's a huge release, gold doesn't spike in value. It just kind of hangs out. It doesn't go up or down. It just kind of stays flat. It plateaus. After 2 months, people tend to get bored. They quit the game. And then gold, for whatever reason, starts to inflate after that. So, yeah, there you go. Now, new skins. I expect there to be some really crazy new Mist of Avalon, like, skins. And these skins will, of course, be through referrals and whatnot. But in 10 years' time, I'm predicting that they will be worth 10 billion silver, because they will never release another Mist-themed skin for a long time. And again, I could be wrong, but... are we going to be alive in 10 years? Anyway, guys, that's all I've got. That's my speculations. That's how you should be ready for the Mists of Avalon, so that you are fully prepared for all this new stuff coming out. Now, I did want to spend some time in this video talking about what could be. If anything, I would guess a damage increase potion buff, a potion that increases your gathering yield for a very short time if you find something super rare you want to skin, or, harvest or whatever, a potion that increases your movement speed, food that does all similar of these kinds of things. I don't know. I'm not going to speculate too much on food, especially like Mist of Avalon food. It's going to combine 2 different food, or maybe even 3 different like food buffs to make like little minor buffs is what I possibly think it might be. As far as new equipment goes, who the hell knows? I want a lightning staff. I also want maybe a necromancer wand. They've been working on that for years and it's never come to light. So we might see necromancy. Who knows? I don't know. Shoot, just... we'll see, okay, guys? Anyway, thank you for watching my video. On screen is another video that you should watch, so go click it right now. Videos every day on this channel. Click that video, make sure you're subscribed. See you later.